For some analysis on this, I'm joined by Marc Ostwald. He's the Chief Economist and Global Strategist at ADM Investor Services International Limited. Great to have you here with us on TRT World. So oil prices have swung sharply over the course of the past 48 hours. How do you think markets are looking at the latest developments between the US and Iran? And do investors believe this ceasefire can hold?
I think there's what one needs to distinguish here is what markets hope for and the reality of the situation. You've basically got a clash between the inflationary pressures and the unsettling disruptions that we have from the conflict in the Persian Gulf, and on the other hand, the great hope of AI. And at the moment, markets continue basically, even when one looks at today's price action, to side more with the hope than the fears. But every now and again, they are getting these reality checks, particularly the attack on the port of Bandar Abbas this morning, that basically check some of that enthusiasm.
Mark, we are also seeing a sharp sell-off across Asian equities, especially in tech-heavy markets like South Korea, for example. How do you think technology stocks are reacting, and why do you think, rather, technology stocks are reacting so strongly to geopolitical tensions?
Well, it's the fact that they are so chronically overvalued. Just to take the example of a chip maker, SK Hynix, it's up 200% since the start of April. So when we get one of these situations where the disruptions, particularly to potential disruptions to chip manufacturers from the disruptions in the Gulf, are very large, then the corrections are going to be substantial. In the greater scheme of things, I'd call this correction very, very modest. In fact, little more than a blip.
With oil prices climbing and inflation concerns picking up again, how much pressure do you think that is putting on new Fed Chair Kevin Warsh? He was expected to lead the way on rate cuts, was he not?
Yes, I mean, Mr. Warsh probably may be regretting some of his setting out his agenda so long beforehand and not realizing that sometimes discretion is the better part of valor, in the sense that it's better not to come in with a very strong agenda as he set to cut interest rates, reduce the size of the Fed's balance sheet. In the current situation, that's not a reality. And the biggest problem Mr. Warsh is going to have is there are more traditional central bankers on the Federal Reserve who will basically stick to their mandate and push back on any of his previously stated agenda. So he faces a very challenging environment. Indeed, anyone who is coming into the job now would face a very challenging environment. It's whether to basically be preemptive and not go for team transitory as we did back in 22, 23, but then not to misjudge the situation when one also sees at the same time a lot of demand destruction appearing.
Fascinating insights, Marc Ostwald. Thanks very much for joining us here on TRT World. I really appreciate your taking out the time.